So I'm Ed Brims, and I am going through a bit of an existential crisis. You see, when I first got into magic, I thought I was pretty clever, because I could do things like this. But I've recently been working with some other magicians who've been doing flower magic for 100 million years. And they're not just doing simple colour changes like that. They have actually been transforming their flowers into something that you can spread on your toast. I have become obsessed with bees. I've actually brought some bees with me tonight. I've been reading the Magic Circle exam rules very closely, and there's lots of stuff in there about fire, but there's nothing about bringing live bees into the Magic Circle. They're in here. It's quite a small beehive. It's actually a very small beehive, because when you first buy a hive, it comes as flat pack. And the first thing that you have to do is to paint it in a weatherproof material. Then you fold it up into the shape of a box, and finally, you're ready to get yourself some bees. Here they are, live in the Magic Circle for the first time ever. Would a couple of people like to come up here to learn some of the stuff that I've been finding out recently about bees? Iris, why don't you stay there, and can I have one other volunteer to come over and sit next to me? Granny, would you like to... Granny, do you want to come? Great Granny. Great Granny. Come and join me here. Thank you.
Never been picked fast, have you?
Yeah.
Always the first time.
Yes, you do. Come and join me here.
Yes. Wow, I
And-
can see how it's done.
Yes, well, Granny and Iris, I need the two of you to be the eyes of the audience, because there are people at the back who think I'm doing this with a pack of cards.
Yeah.
And I'm not. These are actually bees. This is a beehive. And there are some differences. A beehive has no kings. As you can see, there are no kings in this. And there's only one queen. Here she is. The Queen of Spades. The French would call this one La Dame de Pique, or the Lady of Stings. She is the most important bee in the hive, and she gives off a pheromone that smells like lemongrass. And as long as the other bees can smell it, they'll happily go about their business. Adam, can I just ask you to keep half an eye on the Queen, just to make sure that no one comes near her and she's left to do her queenly duties? Meanwhile, Iris, what I'd like you to do, please, is to lift off some of these bees. Be careful, because they're bees. Just lift a big pile, small pile, whatever works for you, into my hand. Thank you, I'll take those. That next bee there is yours. Could you please take that bee, write your name on it, don't let me see it, but remember what it is, make friends with it, show it to all the other people, and while you're doing that, I'm just going to give you some privacy by talking to Granny, Great Granny, about bees. Now, Granny, at the entrance... Well done. At the entrance to every beehive, there are some soldier bees, and their job is to use their sense of smell to spot any intruders who come in. I've been teaching myself to do that using these bees here. So if I just do this, I have just memorised the exact composition of all the ink that was used to print these bees, which means that if Iris could please slide her intruder inside there, anywhere you like. Well done. And then, Great Granny, could you please give them a shuffle to make sure that I cannot use sleight of hand to find this bee. All I can use is sleight of nose. Well done.
That's enough.
Yep, that's plenty. That's great. Just to lose it somewhere in there. Yep. You've done some very good shuffling. That's all right. I can take them from there. Great.
Yes.
Now, if I could just run these under my nose again. Yeah, totally different smell. Totally different. Now, there's a lot of black ink in there. I'm definitely getting black ink. Now, I think some of that could be from the permanent marker that you used, but I think it's not there. I think there was some printed black ink on there. Is that right? Did your bee have some black ink on it? It did, yes. Now, yeah, it's not very much. It's quite a small one. It's around about a 2, 3, 4, that kind of thing. Are we maybe a 2? Is it a 2? A 3? Something like that. Let's see if I can find it. Not giving anything away, no. Now, the real thing is, though, that in order to find which exact card we have got there, it is not enough just to know that we've got an intruder. The bees actually have to find it. And I think that maybe somewhere here we've actually got your card. Would your intruder have been this 3 of clubs there, Iris? Fantastic. Wow. We need to get rid of it. This one is an absolute disgrace. It has to be cast out of the hive. So I'm just going to throw it on the ground, grind it under my foot, move on to something else. The hive can carry on. In the hive, 90% of the bees are female. But there are some male bees. They're called drones. Here's one with a J for drone. Yep. Let's see if I can find another. There's one as well for you. Have a drone. Now, the drones are absolutely useless. They contribute nothing to the hive. They do not collect nectar, they don't make honey, they don't look after the babies. All they do is wander around the hive eating honey, in the hope that one day, on a clear, sunny day, they will fly out into the great blue sky, which I have here. This is my blue sky, looking for a queen from another hive to mate with, and then immediately drop down dead. So, as this sky goes flying past, Iris, I would like you to throw your drone, make it fly. Oh, very good. Straight up. You're happy there? You could have gone to a different bit of the sky. You're happy right there? Great, Granny. I'm going to do the same with you. So I'll just go through a few whenever you want to. Yep, you're happy there?
Yes,
great.
Yes.
So your drones have taken their flight out into the sky. Let's see how much luck they had. Where have we got them? There we go. The drone of hearts is here. Iris, I think that was your one. The drone of hearts has found a queen of hearts from another hive to mate with. And meanwhile, the drone of diamonds all the way down here has found a queen of diamonds to mate with. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, fine, but there are 4 queens in a pack of cards. How hard was it to find 2 of the queens? Maybe you think I'm one of those sneaky magicians who would use an entire pack of nothing but queens. But no, as I said, these are not cards. This is the blue sky on a sunny day. And this card over here, I was so sure you wouldn't choose this, that it is actually completely blank, empty sky. In fact, every single piece of this sky is totally empty, apart from the 2 queens that Great Granny and Iris found. Thank you. Now at this point I would have sent them back to their seats, but you can carry on staying here to the next bit, because does anyone smell anything? No, neither do I. That lemongrass smell I talked about earlier has gone. Adam, you've been keeping an eye on the Queen. Could you just check that she's okay, please?
Should I show you?
Yeah, show us all. Is she there?
Oh,
no!
Oh dear.
The Queen has gone. Now, last September we all became experts on what happens when a Queen dies. Of course, she is immediately replaced by a high-profile member of the Inner Magic Circle, which that the thing the King really is, a member of it. But unfortunately, in a beehive, it doesn't work like that. There are no princes and princesses waiting around. All we've got is a lot of female larvae, and any one of them could be the next queen if we just do 2 things differently. The first is that instead of putting her into a hexagonal cell in a wall of honeycomb, we put her into a big, upright, round cup, like this. The second thing that we do is that instead of feeding her honey like the others, we're going to feed her nothing but royal jelly. This can be my royal jelly. We stuff it in there for a couple of weeks, in and in, making her get fatter and fatter and fatter. And then, when it's time for this bee to emerge, what comes out is a brand new queen. There she is. Please welcome my glamorous assistant, Debbie McBee. There is just one problem with this system, which is not every larva survives to become an adult bee. And to make absolutely sure that we get our queen, the colony doesn't just create one queen, it actually creates several queens. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 new queens. And that means that the first thing that every queen bee does in her little life is to turn on the other bees and fight them to the death. There we go. Remember what a dead queen bee looks like. A lot of people ask, do queen bees even have stings? The answer is yes, they do. And this is the only time that they use them. This queen we already knew was dead, but if we can keep looking through, the bottom one has now gone as well. We're down to a head-to-head fight between 2 different bees. And if Debbie here wants to win, she is going to have to do some pretty extraordinary stuff. She's going to have to climb all the way down the hive, back up again, having stung the other bee. Let's see if she can do it. We have now got 1 dead queen bee, 2, 3 dead queens, and Debbie here is now crowned as our winning queen for the hive. She goes out on another mating flight of her own. She finds some drones from other hives, then she flies back into her own hive. She is going to stay here for the rest of her life. She will never see the light of day again, and she'll produce eggs for another entire colony of 50,000 more bees. And they will have some soldiers who will protect her from intruders, like the dastardly 3 of clubs that Iris tried to put in, that we ground underfoot somewhere down there. In fact, there's something exciting going on in there, actually. I think they've got an intruder right now. Yes. Yep, they're throwing out an intruder, and it is none other than the very same 3 of clubs that Iris signed earlier. Thank you very much.
Very good.